What's up, BookTube? Welcome back. My name is Laura if you're new here, and today I'm letting Operation pick my TBR for July. Hello and welcome back to my original TBR game. If this is your first time tuning into my Operation game, I will leave the first video down below where I go over all the rules and everything so you can check it out. But it is time for my July TBR and I'm so excited. I absolutely crushed my TBR for June. I finished every book on there like almost 2 weeks early, which is wild for me. I did DNF one book, which I was very sad about. It was When You Get the Chance by Tom Ryan. I was so excited for it, and then I started it and I was just immediately like, no, this is not the book for me. I did not like the vibe, the character, like really anything about it aside from like the premise, but the characters were so unlikable that I couldn't push through even for this lovely, beautiful premise that I was so hyped for. So sadly, not the book for me, but everything else on my June TBR I flew through so fast and I loved everything on there. And now it's once again time to do another round for July. So there are a few books that I'm going to be trying to work onto this TBR. One of them is Kingdom of Souls by Rena Barron. My friend Roxanne over at Roxanne Can Read asked me to buddy read this one with her because she's trying to read it and says that she needs more brain cells to understand what's going on. So we're going to read it together and try and figure out the plot together because apparently it's very confusing and like there's just a lot happening. So hopefully the two of us can put our brains together and figure it out. So I'm going to try and get that one on there. Also with Roxanne, we just finished up our reading challenge together and spoiler alert, I lost. So Roxanne chose a book for me to read, or actually she chose 3 books and then I can pick which one I want to read. So I have to choose between Chloe Gong's These Violent Delights, Into the Drowning Deep by Mira Grant, or 50 Words for Rain by Asha Lemmy. So I'm just going to let Operation kind of pick for me. Whichever the first prompt that I get that fits one of those books, I will pick that one. And then I also have an e-arc of Iron Widow by Xiran J. Zhao, which I'm so excited for. So that was coming out in August, so I want to read it in July. So I'm going to try and work that one on there as well. So with that said, let's get right into draw number 1. Ha! Fuck! And the first one! And my first draw was a punishment. Lucky me! So I have to read a book that intimidates me, and this prompt was suggested by Bookworm's Nook, who I will link down below. Thank you so much to them. And for this one, I will pick Kingdom of Souls by Rena Barron. This works perfectly because not only is this a very chunky book, it's also, according to Roxanne, very confusing, which intimidates the crap out of me. I'm now like terrified to read this book, so perfect. but this one follows our main character, Ara, who is the heir to these 2 bloodlines of like very powerful witch doctors, but she unfortunately has no magic of her own. But the kingdom's children start to disappear and she is desperate to try and help save them, so she turns to a forbidden ritual that allows her to buy magic at the price of years of her own life, which is very strictly forbidden, but again, she's desperate, so she does it, and then our story goes from there. So this one sounds really, really cool. I'm a little scared to read it after hearing what Roxanne was saying about it, and that it's like very confusing and like kind of hard to grasp, so we'll see what happens. But I do have access to both the audiobook and the ebook from my library, so hopefully one of those formats will work for me, possibly even both, but we shall see. For draw number 2, I have to read a book with a pretty cover, and this works perfectly for my pick from Roxanne because These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong has one of the most beautiful covers that I have ever seen in my life. so I'm going to be reading that one for this prompt, and this one is a Romeo and Juliet retelling but set in 1920s Shanghai and has to do with like rival gangs, and like it sounds so friggin' cool. My roommate recently read this one and she really enjoyed it, so I think that I will as well based on what she told me. This just sounds wildly fun and I can't wait to get to it. For my third draw, I have to read either a short story collection or a novella, and for this one I will be reading Ghost from the Shadow Market by Cassandra, Clare, and several others. I'm not really looking forward to this, to be honest. I've been putting it off for so long because I just don't really want to read it, but here we are. So I haven't talked about this in quite a while, so maybe you have not heard me say this before, but I have a very complicated relationship with this author now. I used to be obsessed with the Shadowhunter world. I still love the TV show. It's like one of my favorite shows ever, but I've like totally fallen out of love with the books and with the author herself, and like just but I've spent so much time reading her books, and like I have, if you can see from my top shelf, the entire top shelf from like here to here is all Cassandra Clare. So I'm gonna keep reading them because I've dedicated so much time and money into this series, so I'm going to stick with it and just read everything that she puts out for them, mainly just out of spite at this point in time, spite for myself. So yeah, I'm gonna read this one. I don't really know what it's even about. It does take place in the Shadow Market, which I do find actually pretty interesting, so that's like the one thing that it has going for it, but otherwise I'm just very like meh about it. I'm not really looking forward to this one. But if I don't force myself to read it, I am never going to do it. And I think if I just read like one short story a day, I'll be able to get through it, and we'll go from there. And for my last draw, I have to read a portal fantasy, which as we know is my favorite genre, so I'm very excited for this one. And I'm going to be reading Phoenix Flame by Sara Holland. This is the conclusion to the Havenfall duology. So Havenfall is set in the mountains and somewhere in America, Colorado? I don't know. Somewhere in America where there's mountains. I don't know American geography, but it takes place in this inn in the mountains, and it's very like misty and beautiful and like ethereal, and just like it sounds gorgeous. But this inn is actually a like gatekeeper type thing for these 4 portals to different realms, and every year the leaders of each realm gather at the inn for a summit where they talk about their politics and kind of the trading stuff, as well as just hang out and party and have a good time together. Our main character is the niece of the innkeeper, and she wants nothing else in life but to one day take over the inn. It is her life's dream, and in the first book that dream becomes a reality, but not for good reasons. Her uncle gets injured as a result of some magical stuff happening through the portals, and she has to take over and try and figure out what's going on before other people get hurt. So book 2 came out pretty recently, I think sometime earlier this year, and I'm very much looking forward to it. The world of this one is so cool, and again, portal fantasy, like, this is just great. I love this. Plus we have a bisexual main character, which I love. So yeah, I'm looking forward to book 2. Okay, so that is it for my operation picks, and I was not able to work on Iron Widow, so I will also be reading that one, and this one I am so excited for. This one is being called a like crossover of Pacific Rim and The Handmaid's Tale, and it's a retelling of China's only female emperor, which just sounds fucking cool, and like I'm just so excited for it. I'm so grateful that I got an arc for this from NetGalley. I'm just like blown away. So look forward to a review for that one coming out in the next couple of weeks. I'm so excited. I hope I love it. I hope this just like lives up to everything that I hope it's going to be, because it sounds so fucking cool, and I just have like the highest of hopes for it, so I hope it's good. And then aside from that one, I will also be reading whatever the Queer Joy Book Club book pick is for this month. I will leave their link down below. I highly recommend checking them out. They are this wonderful book club over on Instagram, hosted by the most wonderful people, and we read some fantastic books together every month. So I can't wait to find out what this month's book pick is going to be. Hi, I'm just popping in super quick because I have a very special announcement to make. So for the Queer Joy Book Club, we have just found out what book we're going to be reading, and that one is The Sound of Stars by Alechia Dow. This one is a sci-fi set in the future. Any kind of like human art is considered illegal, so like books, music, all that fun stuff. But our main character is a human who is in love with books, so she runs a illegal library, and she makes friends with an alien whose job it is to put people in jail for having these kinds of things. But he secretly loves pop music, and so the two of them become like unlikely friends, and they work together to go on this journey across the galaxy to try and find a solution, basically. And this announcement is so exciting for me because I'm going to be co-hosting the live show with the Queer Joy Book Club this month. I'm so excited. I've never done a live show before. This is like the best thing ever. I am so grateful that I was asked to co-host. So I'll leave all the links and everything down below. It'll be on the 25th of July. It's a Sunday. It'll be 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2 p.m. PST. I will leave all those links down below and you will hear me yelling about it for the next month. I'm so excited to do this. I'm super nervous. Like, I've never done anything live before, but I think it's gonna be really fun and I can't wait to read this book. This book features an asexual main character. I just can't wait for it. I'm so excited. It sounds adorable and like and just like really wholesome kind of fun sci-fi. So I'm so looking forward to it and I'm so excited to co-host this. I can't believe it. Yeah, so that's the exciting announcement. Thank you so much to the Queer Joy Book Club. You have definitely brought this queer a whole lot of joy. So thank you for that. But yeah, okay, bye. But that'll do it for today. I've got my one physical book and the rest are on audio or ebook. I haven't read like physical books in a very long time. Like, I need to start actually reading books myself more often than I do. But either way, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you're having a fantastic day wherever you are in the world and I will catch you in the next one. Bye!